Hello everyone, welcome to Lab 16. Today we are going to learn how to find open ports on a metasploitable host using Python sockets module or library. In Lab 14, we used Nmap for this. Now we will use Python and its socket module instead. But before we dive in, let's quickly understand what the Python socket module is. So the Python socket module lets programmer connect their Python programs to network with sockets. Python apps can send and retrieve data over networks using TCP or UDP. It helps create addresses and manage connection and handle errors. This make it easy to build all sorts of networks apps from simple chat programs to big or complex systems. So you also can type in the Google what is Python socket and you will get lots of different answer. Whatever answer is you are understand, just grab it the information from the Google. Okay, so before we write any code in Python, let's execute or scan the port manually one more time. So on my left, I have a Kali Linux. And on the right side, we have a metasploitable. The IP address for the metasploitable is 192.168.43.142. I'm going to use Nmap. So 142, just so it's done, right? So the similar activity we are going to do using Python socket module. So now in order to write Python program, we need the IDE. One of the popular IDE to write the Python program called PyCharm. So in lab number 15, I will show you how to download and install PyCharm, or you can just Google download PyCharm. Based on your operating system, you can download and install. And after you complete it, your window will be like this. Okay, so now right now is empty, there is no project. So I'm going to create a project in my computer first. So in the download folder, you can create a project anywhere you like, download documents or your C drive. So I'm going to create a project, and name of the project I would say cyber security. You can name anything you like. Okay, so now I am going to open the project folder, cybersecurity, open. Now, after you create a project, we have to create a file, Python file. So right click on the project, new, click on Python file, and name of the Python file, you can name, let's say we are going to scan the port, right? So let's say scanning ports. Okay, so as you see, as soon as you name the project, at the extension for the Python is .py. Okay, so now I already have the Python code, and I'm going to copy paste, and after we execute, I will explain line by line. So let me paste the code here. Okay, so my metasploitable must be running. Okay, so now I'm going to right click and run scanning ports. So it is asking for enter a metasploitable host to scan, and the IP address is 192.168.43.142. So scanning is done. So right now you see only 4 port is display here. The reason is in line number 11, you see I'm telling, hey, just scan only from port number 1 to 50. So port number 1 to 50, I have only 4 port open. Now if I say 100, and now if I run again, 192.168.43.142. So now I should see more port open because I increased the port number from 1 to 100. All right, so it took me about 4 minutes to scan from port number from 1 to 100. So as you see, from when I say range 1 to 50, I had only 4 port, and when I increase to 100, I have additional 2 more port. Okay, so you can also increase to 200, 300,000 like that. Okay, so now so this is the raw code that I copy paste. So now let's explain the code line by line. So line number 1, import socket. Okay, so the import socket module. The socket module in Python provides the function and classes for working with sockets. And then line number 3, which is this is the variable, and input is the function. And then we put the bracket and we say enter a metasploitable host to scan. The user interface. So explanation for the line number 3. The user interface initiate a request for the user to input either the IP address or a host name of the remote server. Upon submission, the provided information is captured and stored within the variable label called metaServer. So as you see, when I right click and run, you see enter a metasploitable host to scan. So this is line number 3. So now as soon as I provide the IP address, so that IP address will be saved in the metaServer, and this is called a variable. So now the line number 4, the metaServer IP, again metaServer IP is the variable, and then we use the socket.gethostbyname bracket open bracket metaServer close bracket. So the explanation, this line use the getHostByName function. So this is the function from the socket module to resolve the host name entered by the user metaServer into an IP address. The IP address is then stored in the variable called metaServerIP. So you can name anything like this one, okay, because this is a variable. So this code is very important because this is the socket module, and inside the socket module we have a different function, one of the function called getHostByName, and then we provide the variable that we have on previous here, the metaServer, right? So we pass the IP address here. Print metaServer. So line number 5. So we just basically print the IP address. So this line prints the IP address of the remote host or metasploitable host, right? That will that the script will scan. And then line number 7, the print. Then we put the quotation and then dash. So this is nothing but a we are telling, hey, we need to print 60 times this dot. It will like, let me provide the IP address now. So 192.168.43 and 142. You see this line here, this is 60 line, 60 dash, right? So that is the line number 7. And in the middle, we have another print statement. You see the please wait is scanning metasploit host and the host IP address. So in between that, we have this line. So this is what the explanation here. So the line number 8, this line print a message indicating the script is scanning the specific host along with the IP address. Then line number 11, for port in range, and the range is what, 1 to 100. I show you before, right? Or this is the range, like you may have 1 to 1000, like total port is more than 65,000. So you can arrange the port from anywhere you like, for start from 1 to 65,000. Okay, so you can put the range here. So the explanation, this line start a loop that iterates over port numbers from 1 to 49, excluding 50. So right now you see the port number from 1 to 100. So that means this is the index, right? So it will have like 1 to 99. So it always have always have whatever you have the last number minus 1. So it will print 1 to 99. Then line number 12, we have a variable called sock and socket.socket. Then we have socket.af underscore inet. Then these two are nothing but a parameter, right? So comma, we have another parameter is socket.sock underscore stream. So line number 12. So this line create a new socket object using IP version 4 address family. So this is related to the IP version 4, and TCP socket type is, and this is the socket type, socket stream. TCP socket are connection oriented and suitable to establish connection over the network. On line number 13 is nothing but after is make a connection, we save it in the variable called results. Okay, so this line number 13, we provide the IP address, and it will return the port number on line number 13. And then line number 14, if result is equal to 0, this line check, like it will, we are making condition here on line number 14. If result is equal to 0, if we have find result equal to 0, that means we are able to successfully make a connection. Then we are printing the port number. So the port number and the status. So we say in the curly in the quotation we say port curly braces and make a little bit of a space here. You see port, and this is the port here. This is the port. We like whatever we get, we save it in the port. Kind of, you can say the variable, right? So whatever port you get, we just print it here. So port 21, and we have this separated colon, and the status is open, right? We say open dot format port, and everything is done. When everything is done, we just close the socket using socket.close close function. Okay, so this is how we can use the Python socket module for scan the port. Thank you.